Welcome to Market Moves ETX. This podcast is hosted by David McAtee, a real estate agent with Realty One Group Rose in Tyler, Texas. Each episode is created for East Texans who want a clearer understanding of the local real estate market. Whether you're buying, selling, investing, or simply staying informed, you'll get straightforward insights, local context, and practical guidance without pressure or hype. Let's get started.
One thing people often ask about is why the housing market seems to shift so much from year to year. A lot of people focus on interest rates, but the truth is there is another factor working behind the scenes that affects everything, and that is the job market. When people think about buying or selling a home, they naturally focus on the property itself. But what many people do not realize is that housing markets are tied very closely to what is happening in the local economy and how confident people feel about their financial future. If jobs are growing and businesses are hiring, people generally feel more comfortable making long-term decisions. Buying a home becomes something they feel ready to pursue because their income feels stable and their future feels predictable. The opposite happens when job growth slows down or uncertainty starts creeping into the economy. People become cautious, and when people become cautious, housing activity usually begins slowing down right alongside it. I learned something important about markets a few years ago when I first got into real estate during the COVID years. I entered the business during a period where interest rates were incredibly low, buyer demand was high, and things were moving fast for just about everybody in this industry. At the time, it would have been easy for me to think success was simply about knowing how to sell houses. But over time, I realized a lot of that activity was being driven by outside economic conditions that had very little to do with any individual agent. Then the market shifted and interest rates started climbing. Transactions slowed down dramatically, and suddenly everybody in real estate had to adjust to a completely different environment. That experience taught me something I believe strongly today. Markets are always connected to bigger economic forces, and real estate does not operate in isolation from what is happening in people's daily lives. Here in East Texas, when industries are healthy and companies are expanding, you usually see stronger housing demand follow closely behind. More stable employment means more qualified buyers entering the market and more confidence throughout the entire buying process. At the same time, if layoffs begin happening or economic uncertainty grows, buyers naturally start stepping back. Sellers may still want top dollar for their home, but fewer active buyers can change pricing dynamics very quickly. This is why I often tell people that the market does not care what we personally need. The market responds to value, confidence, and economic conditions, whether we like it or not. Sometimes homeowners believe they can simply price high and negotiate down later. In reality, if buyer demand softens because of economic pressure, overpricing can cost valuable time that you usually do not get back. I've always believed my job is not to sell people on decisions they are unsure about. My responsibility is to help people understand what is happening so they can make decisions based on reality instead of emotion. Real estate is deeply connected to people, and people make financial decisions based on confidence. When the local economy feels strong, housing activity tends to reflect that strength in very visible ways. The important thing to understand is that timing matters. Sometimes the smartest move is moving forward confidently, and sometimes the smartest move is simply taking your time and paying attention to what the bigger picture is telling you. That's why I always come back to the same belief I have carried throughout this business. I serve people first because helping people make informed decisions matters more than simply closing another transaction.
Thanks for listening to Market Moves ETX podcast. For more local real estate insights and written articles, visit marketmovesetx.com. If you'd like to connect directly, you can reach David at 903-437-7126. That's 903-437-7126. Market Moves ETX podcast is hosted by David McAtee with Realty One Group Rose in Tyler, Texas. We'll see you in the next episode.